call myself Nolan. It started like most gym friendships do. You see the same person regularly, exchange nods, and eventually start acknowledging each other. Nothing unusual. I went to my gym daily after work. Same time, same routine. One of the regulars was Josh. He had that serious lifter look. Fitted shirts, shaker bottle, big duffel bag. He was there so often, it felt like he lived there. At first, it was just small stuff, head nods. Then one day he asked me to spot him on bench press. I said sure. After that, he started talking nonstop. Asked how long I'd been lifting, where I lived, what I did for work. I kept it vague, just the general area. He said he lived nearby and laughed like we were destined to be friends. Then he asked for my Instagram. I followed back without thinking much of it. For weeks, he'd find me at the gym, comment on my form, DM me memes. Then he invited me to a local festival. I went. That's when I first noticed something was off. Outside the gym, Josh had no filter. He was loud, did random cartoon voices for no reason, made inappropriate comments about strangers. After drinking, it got worse. He'd say my name constantly in this creepy whisper. I wrote it off as social awkwardness. A few weeks later, he invited me to a bar, claiming 2 girls would join. They never showed. I'm convinced he lied just to get me there. That night was worse. The voices, the embarrassing jokes, people staring. I left early with a fake excuse. At the gym afterward, he wouldn't leave me alone, followed me between stations. I started changing my workout times to avoid him. He responded by messaging me more. You good? Why are you being distant? I left him on red. Then one night, lying in bed with my window cracked, I heard someone outside. A low, drawn-out voice said my name. It was right under my window. No one. I looked. I messaged him. Are you outside my house? He saw it, waited minutes, then replied, no, just no. The next night I heard it again, this time from my backyard. The same intentionally creepy voice. I messaged him, okay, if you ever come back, I'm calling the police and getting a restraining order. You're a freak. Then I blocked him. I thought that was the end. It wasn't. That same night, I checked the window and saw a figure standing there so close it blocked the light. I screamed at him to leave. The shadow disappeared. I stopped going to that gym, got a new one across town, stopped posting on Instagram, checked my locks obsessively. 3 weeks passed. I started relaxing. Then one morning I found my tire slashed. A clean cut. He'd been watching me. I bought Ring cameras, installed motion lights, changed my routines. Now I check every notification, every sound. The worst part? I met him in the most normal place possible, the gym. I was just trying to be friendly. Now I know, once someone like that decides you're theirs, good luck getting away. Be careful who you let into your life, even casually. My name is Lewis. I'm 22 years old and I live in a small town in Kansas. It's the kind of place where everyone feels safe. I've lived here for almost 14 years. I work at a Mexican restaurant, a decent job I've had for 4 years. Every evening I go to the gym with my buddy Colton. He's 19. He's a typical country guy, a bit of a redneck, but cool and loyal. The story I'm about to tell happened last summer. At that time, Colton was dating a girl he met on an app, a high school cheerleader named Addie. She was 17. Their relationship lasted about 4 months, and it was a real battlefield. They constantly fought over trivial things. She couldn't stand him coming to the gym with me. She demanded he be by her side constantly. Eventually, Colton found out she'd cheated on him with multiple guys. That was the last straw. He broke up with her. She didn't take it well. One Tuesday night, we were at the gym, as usual. We usually go around 7 p.m. because he gets off work at 6. We were drinking our pre-workout and starting our session when the door opened and a girl walked in. She was wearing a red hoodie and blue leggings. Right away, I felt something was off. She just stood there for a second staring at us, without looking around the gym, without moving or looking at her phone. Then she walked towards the women's locker room, but kept looking back at us as she walked. Colton didn't think much of it, but it raised a red flag for me. A few minutes later, strange noises started coming from the locker room. We could hear crying mixed with whispering. It was loud enough that we could hear it through our headphones. It wasn't normal crying. It was unsettling, like someone talking to themselves while falling apart. We tried to ignore it and kept working out. About 10 minutes later, she came out of the locker room wearing the exact same clothes. That's when it got really weird. Usually you go to the locker room to change before working out. But not her. She just started wandering around the gym without using any equipment. She kept drifting closer to us, hovering too close to whatever machine we were on, watching us without actually working out. I told Colton I was starting to feel uncomfortable. We moved to another machine. A few minutes later, she was gone. We didn't see her leave. She just wasn't there anymore. We finished our workout around 8:40 p.m. and went outside to talk for a bit. I noticed a car sitting in the parking lot. That felt weird because only 4 other people were there, and they had all come together in one pickup truck. We brushed it off. About 10 minutes after I got home, Colton texted me asking if I remembered that girl. I said, yeah. He asked, wow, what if it was Addie? The thought made my stomach drop. He said she had been acting crazy since the breakup and really wanted him back. I told him there was no way, it was probably just some random girl. Eventually, we convinced ourselves it wasn't her and went to bed. Around 11:30 p.m., I heard knocking on my brother's window. I went to look but didn't see anyone. A few minutes later, there was knocking on my window. Again, no one was there. Then I heard aggressive knocking at the front door. The doorknob started shaking violently. Not someone checking if it was unlocked, but someone trying to break in. And then I heard a girl laughing. Not a happy laugh. It was hysterical. She would burst out laughing every few seconds, like she was enjoying herself. I started feeling sick. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number told me to leave Colton alone. It said I convinced him to break up with her and that now I would pay the consequences. I knew immediately it was Addie. Another text came in. It was a picture of a knife in her hand. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just anger. She was outside at my house with a weapon. I texted my dad, who thankfully was still awake. He called the police immediately. The laughter stopped after a few minutes, but I was too scared to move and check. When the cops arrived, they found her sitting in the grass near the house, like she had been waiting patiently. They arrested her on the spot. She admitted everything to the officers. They asked if I wanted to press charges, and I said yes without hesitation. I called Colton and told him what happened. He was just relieved I was okay. The only thing that still bothers me is how she got my address. I never gave it to her. Colton swears he didn't either. That question still haunts me, because if she found it once, she could have done it any time. I'm just grateful the police got there when they did.